Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leadership Florida's Leadership Exchange podcast, hosted by Leadership Florida and sponsored by Sunshine Ace Hardware. Today, I'm so excited. My guest is Dean Cannon, the president and CEO of GrayRobinson and a member of Cornerstone Class 19. Welcome, Dean.
Thank you so much, Wendy. It's really nice to be here.
It's so fun. I love having you on here. You're just been a long time great friend, and this is fun to do when I get to do it with all my friends at Leadership Florida. But as I just mentioned, our podcast sponsor is Sunshine Ace Hardware, and you know their motto, Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. From that similar theme, I ask this of all my guests. I want you to finish this sentence for me. Gray Robinson is the place with.
All right. I'll play off the Ace Hardware theme. It's the place with the folks who understand law, politics, and business and how all three interact. Uh,
Oh,
our
that's
firm, our
good.
firm has been helping people succeed, our clients succeed with legal problems, business problems, and political problems, and often with a combination of those three for 55 years now. So it's a real privilege to work here. And I grew up here. In Florida, especially, if it's important, it's impacted by law, business, and politics, and that's what we focus on.
Oh, I think that's so great. And I want to continue that. I want you to expand a little bit more on that because I want you to share more about Gray Robinson. You are much more than a law firm. Tell us about just pretend like we don't know much about Gray Robinson. I want to know about your geographic reach, your client base, your mission, all the things you sort of encompass. Give us that 411, so to speak.
Fantastic. Well, it'll be a little history, but it'll also answer that question. Charlie Gray, our founder, had the vision to have it, and I'm so sad we lost him this year. But what a lion and what a phenomenal influence he
Mhm.
has been. He started the law firm in 1970 in Orlando, and one of his early sayings that we follow is, "You build your community, you build your law firm." And we've now expanded that to, "You build your state, you build your law firm." But he understood his friend had been the mayor of Jacksonville who ran for governor. The governor put Charlie on some committees, for example, the Turnpike Committee, when it came time to lay out Interstate 4, a little right away that's kind of important in Central Florida. And he early on recognized that it's, you know the old joke, a good lawyer knows the law, but a great lawyer knows the judge. Well,
Yeah.
an even better lawyer also knows the Speaker of the House, the governor, the Supreme Court, and everybody in between, right? And the business leaders and the civic leaders. And so we've done that, and that we grew from our original office in Orlando. We now have 16 offices within the state of Florida and one up in Washington, D.C. Well, a year and a half ago, we opened our 16th office in Pensacola. So we literally go from Pensacola to Key West. And we're active in the communities where we're engaged. And then up in DC, we have our federal office, which is both lobbying or predominantly federal lobbying and legal stuff. And so we've carried the culture and the idea of being involved in the community, involved in the state, and law, business, and politics, and now expanded that. We actually have an international client reach, although we're geographically in Florida. We do international practices and everything from patent and trademark to financial and securities and things like that. So we're Florida based, but with a national and international reach.
Wow. I had no idea. I will say I cheated a little bit and looked on your website in preparation for our conversation today, and I would have totally lost the bet on how many offices you had in Florida. And now, but Pensacola makes that 16, you said,
Yes, 16
which
in
is
Florida and then the one up in
in the
DC, which is
DC.
wild.
And now with this international reach was incredible, which doesn't surprise me. You've got so many great professionals. Many of them are our Leadership Florida members, which we're very proud of. And to a person, they are incredible. So that's very, very exciting for you, and how much you've grown since 1970.
Yep.
And we all will miss Charlie Gray. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
What a loss, but what a great legacy that he and the firm continue to provide from his vision from day one, which is
for
just great.
sure. Well, and
Really.
he was one of the early, one of the nice things about our firm is we're a full service statewide national presence and international presence law firm. But heck, 25 years ago, 26 years ago, we added and created an internal lobbying practice, which is that's one component that is makes we now have a sort of top five statewide full service lobbying firm embedded within a top five full service statewide law firm, and then the same thing at the federal level. And that ability to, they teach you in law school, you take the facts and you research the law, and then you present your client's facts. Gray Robinson also has the ability to take the facts, go to Tallahassee, change the law, and make the situation better. And that's a whole different level of client service and the ability to help our clients succeed, which is really, really nice. But it's got
All
challenges.
all with a stronger community, both regionally and in Florida, in mind, which is just wonderful. All right, so
Okay.
now let's transition a little bit about, and you're hinting about it a little bit, but what is trending in your, not just the legal, the lobbying, the consulting, the advising field that you're touching on each and every day, but what are you doing to, one, now to stay current and fresh and meet your clients' needs? Uh, Tell us a little bit about some things that are important to you as you see today and moving forward.
Yeah, I think two big things right now are sort of taking up a lot of space on our dashboard. From a technology standpoint, right? AI is impacting the legal industry as much or more, frankly, than a lot of other sectors because it's not just the fact that, a large language model computer can do something, in 2 seconds that it would take used to take a lawyer to do 2 hours. But the legal regulatory impact of that is huge. The technological shift in how people manage legal services is one thing. I think the other thing from a Gray Robinson specific standpoint has been we've grown wonderfully. Like I said, opened our 16th office. We're all over the state, but keeping our culture. We have a very people first culture, which again was the tone set by Charlie. But in a post COVID environment, people weren't at the office as much. And then when you add offices and add space, you have to work really hard to protect that culture and that emphasis on the whole person. We try to do that, and we've been doing it, but it takes a lot of intentionality, which we're proud to do. And so far, it's paying dividends and working out very well for us.
Well, it is, and AI is here to stay, and we've got to embrace it, but also manage it. Got to be measured. You've got to check it. You've got to fact check. You have to do things. I mean, there's a lot, but it's here to stay. And I have to believe. Well, there's many fields that are experiencing challenges with it, but certainly healthcare and the legal field, maybe also insurance, you are really faced with a lot because of regulatory issues and accuracy and so many things. I think you're probably having more challenges than a lot of industries are.
We
Um,
are in some ways the peculiar good and bad of AI is, the notion is a large language model, right? It can analyze language at a unprecedented clip. Well, lawyers, that's what we do. We read cases, we interpret what they mean, or we read statutes, or we write corporate documents or wills and trusts. And so the technical impact of that is to just rapidly accelerate things. But I have a theory, and I'm not sure if you've experienced this in other industries, but it's still just a speeding up of a process that someone would do. Analyze a document, craft a document, that sort of thing. The human judgment of should I make this investment? Should we merge, should we do this transaction? I have a belief, and we're paying attention as we recruit new younger lawyers. Yes, you need to be technically proficient, but more importantly, you need to have good judgment and personality and the ability to connect on a human level with clients. Because as technology makes the processes faster, the ability to have the confidence of the client and to make sound and wise business judgments and legal judgments, I think becomes at a premium. So we're focusing heavily that in our on that in our recruiting efforts as well.
as you should, and smart to do so. So those are some challenges. It does lead to my next question about one of your biggest challenges today. But tell us about, other than those things we just talked about around AI and personnel and things, what are some of the other challenges and things that excite you as well about just your field as advisors, consultants, legal policy? Um,
Well,
what are you
I-
excited
I'd
about?
I'd say a couple things. One, we've been very fortunate that our clients' needs, we try to let our services, right, follow the client's needs. For example, we just added a, maritime and admiralty practice up in Jacksonville, Jackson Duval, huge port. Very prestigious firm joined us, led by Jim Mosley. We have more, there's more growth on the Admiralty Maritime practice. I can't quite share it yet, but that's coming in South Florida in the next couple of months. And so, as we open Pensacola, as we add these different practices, you mentioned technology. We have a very robust space, economic development and space law and policy practice that dovetails both federal and DC, as well as Space Florida is a client here in the state of Florida. So, economic development driven by the types of unique components of the Florida economy has been a big focus, and we're excited about it. It's a lot to stay on top of because we're a very vibrant state, but we've really invested in that, and it looks like it's paying dividends.
You touched on something about being engaged with Space Florida. I mean, there was a time no law firm would have been involved with anything but legal cases that come to their doorstep, both defending and proactive work. And look at what you're talking about now. Who would have thought,
It
not
it's
even
a
Charlie in 1970 may not have said that. I don't know,
well,
but it's
he
really incredible.
it really is, but Charlie got the vision though, because when he said he wanted to do three things when he came to Central Florida after graduating from UF Law School, after he helped his friend become governor, he got to be on the Turnpike Authority that laid out I-4. He wanted to convert the Florida Technical College into what became the University of Central Florida, and which is itself a an incubator of economic development. And he also wound up doing some of the land parcel assembly for the Walt Disney Company. And so he saw that, Disney came here in part because of where I-4 was. If you grow UCF, you can have an investment in economic development as well as the educational components. And in a really nice way, we're still doing that today, just on a much bigger scale. Again, now it's out in space. Now it's all over the world. These rapid technological advancements have made it all the more important to have good lawyers, good advisors counseling you as you go.
It's so incredible when I meet young people that are pursuing a law degree, the first question is asked, oh, well, what exactly do you want to specialize in? Because there are
Right.
so many options now. But it was very myopic, now it's just the world is an oyster. I mean, and some people
Yeah.
say I don't even want to be in a courtroom at all.
It's too much. Yes. You don't even have, you can have a wonderful legal career and focus on, patent and technology, intellectual property issues or,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So I like it. I enjoyed being a lawyer. I enjoyed my time in the legislature and where you got to shape public policy and write statutes. And I feel so lucky because when I came to Orlando in 1993, I had my law school roommate was the son of one of the partners at GrayRobinson. And I met Charlie Gray, and I'm like, I want to be like that guy when I grow up. And I feel like I got my wish. I feel,
You, and you
I won't fill his shoes, but I'm trying to carry forward the cultural and big picture community and state development ideas that he had. And I feel like the firm is honoring that legacy today.
And what a great role model you had. You're
Yeah.
right at your feet. All right, so now I want to talk a little bit internal. My last question is to tell me about Gray Robinson as an employer. What do
Ah,
you love most about working with your firm and all your professionals who are serving alongside this great mission with you?
that one's easy. And this is a Charlie focus, right? I said people first is sort of our internal cultural emphasis, and it really is. We take care of our people. I've heard folks use the phrase professional family, but we look at each other that way. We value each individual, whether you are, work in the copy room or whether you're, managing partner or leading a practice group. We care about our people as individuals. I think we just got for the umpteenth year in a row, one of the best places to work, U.S. News and World Report, that sort of thing. Because when Charlie said you build your community, you build your law firm, you have to treat people like a whole person, not like a file or a legal problem, legal issue. And my brother's a physician, and they say, he's a oculoplastic surgeon. You have to treat the whole person. It's not just their eyeball. And so we try to both value our employees as well as our clients as a whole person. Sure, there may be this piece of litigation, but what are their business interests? What are they trying to accomplish? And what can we do to make them more successful? And because we do that both with our employees and with our clients, we've been very fortunate. I would never work anywhere else because I think law firms can be sometimes a little stuffy. They can be a little serious. And one of the many Charlie sayings is, he said, Dean, take the work seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously. So we try to follow that. We mostly succeed, but we try to follow that.
All great words of wisdom for just about any sector and all of us to focus on our people and being true to that and looking at the organization as a whole with that great vision. This has
Thanks.
been a wonderful conversation with Dean Cannon, who is a member of Cornerstone Class 19 and President and CEO of GrayRobinson. Thank you, Dean, so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Have a great day.
That was such a great conversation with Dean Cannon, President and CEO of GrayRobinson. Dean is a member of Cornerstone Class 19, and he is a great ambassador for his law firm as the president and CEO. And he shared with us a lot of great things. The whole firm was founded in 1970 in Orlando, but now they have 16 offices in Florida. They just added Pensacola, and they also have Washington, D.C., a great office. They've got an international reach now with some of their clients. They have a real people first cultural emphasis. And one of the things I loved him sharing is their founder, who we just lost this year, a wonderful Florida leader, Charlie Gray. Everyone who's ever met him knows what a great leader he was in Florida. But he had a philosophy: take the work seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. What great words to live by. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Leadership Exchange, hosted by Leadership Florida and sponsored by Sunshine Ace Hardware.